Good morning.
Morning.
We want to welcome you this morning to the Drainage District Board of Directors meeting posted for today, February the 27th, 2018. President Art, Commissioner Fuentes, Precinct 1, Commissioner Cantu, Precinct 2, Commissioner Flores, Precinct 3, and myself. We have a quorum. Please join us in prayer.
Thank you, Judge. Let us pray. Father God, again, we just give you thanks for another great day that you've given us, Lord. Thank you for the opportunity you provide for us to come serve today, Lord. We continue to ask for your blessings, Lord. We pray for the judge and four commissioners, Lord, that you've appointed to lead this great county of ours, Lord. Continue to provide them your wisdom when they make the decisions that affect us all, Lord. And more importantly, provide them your peace, Lord, through your Son, Jesus, as they make these difficult decisions, Lord. I continue to ask for your guidance, Lord, as well, as I lead the Drainage District. Continue to pray for my staff, Lord. Pray for our workers, that they may just provide the service that is needed in the community, Lord. We continue to pray for all the leaders of this great county, Lord. Continue to pray for them in support of all the decisions that they make, Lord. We continue to ask for your many blessings, your guidance. Continue to pray for our nation, Lord. Continue to pray for just healing of all those that are battling illnesses, Lord, as well. Thank you for your Son, Jesus, and it's in his name that I pray. Amen. Amen.
Under open forum?
No, sir. There are no participants.
On our consent agenda, any concerns?
None, Judge.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge. If I may, item 5 will be presentation discussion, Dow County Drainage District Number 1, Phase 1 Drainage Study Project. Project engineer B2Z Engineering. What we're doing here at the district, we've taken the colonial list that is currently has been developed by the Secretary of State's Office, Water Development Board, and Office of Attorney General. And we've gone out and we've started studying precincts 2 and 4. In 2014, there was a study initiated by JSW and Associates, contracted by the Water Development Board, to study as a tri-county study that was conducted by them. And it was wrapped up in 2016. So that study took some of those colonias that are on the list, they analyzed them, and basically the intent there was to try to address drainage. But one of the things that they looked at was the structural flooding versus the nuisance flooding. And they focus on structural, meaning that when they ran their hydraulics, they focus on those that water could get into a home versus the nuisance flooding where you have water in the streets or maybe on the lots. But the main focus was to narrow it down to what causes structural damage, what kind of areas could have structural damage from an event. And out of the colonias that they did study, they did 308 site visits, and they completed 17 reports for precincts 2 and 4. And what we've done is we've taken that information and we have included it or evaluated as part of the drainage study that we're currently doing right now. So we've gone to now, this is kind of the sample of what they did. They basically took, as I mentioned, the colonias that they evaluated. This is one of the colonias that they evaluated on the list. And they said, okay, to be able to address this type of situation here, we'd have to reconstruct paving, drainage, pond excavation. There wasn't any detail of the study that was done. It was just very general terms. And you can see the number was 1.6 million is what they estimated with engineering and contingency. And that's just for one development. And that's not taking into account land acquisition or anything like that, because what they did was, okay, what is the way to approach this? Well, we buy a retention facility or buy land to create a retention facility, put the water in there, and then get an outfall. Well, as you know, we've gone away from that in a sense. We've kind of tried to do more linear detention in our drainage systems with the Zika and all the other things of ponding water. We wanted to make sure that all our developments that we do now have a point discharge, and if we do a detention facility, it has to be a regional detention facility that it can accommodate a large tract of land. That's what the district's looking at. We're not looking at doing individual retention ponds per development. It causes issues with health hazards and so forth, and also maintenance issues for us. So when we do look at retention facilities, we look at large tracts to be able to accommodate large pieces of land that can be further developed and dumped into it. So that's kind of the way that we're looking at the regional detention facility. So even though the study that JSW conducted with HAF here as the local support, it was a good study. However, it just didn't address the way the district and the county is looking at drainage in our area. So having said that, our current study talks basically, it's a site-specific study that we're doing. We're taking basically the existing area that's there. We're flying it with drones. We're gathering data. We're gathering field elevations as well. We're developing a drainage area map, watershed map, to actually look at how the water is behaving in that area and evaluating it to a detailed study to say, interim construction, what is it that we need to do in the interim to address these colonias that are still on the list to provide drainage for them, and then what is the ultimate solution? In some cases, the interim solution could be as easy as putting in a culvert, a roadside grading, or something of that nature, and the ultimate solution will take a little bit more detailed construction and work. So the next slide shows the detail map that I'm talking about, where the site-specific, we're actually going out there, we're documenting any irrigation lines, documenting any utility lines, anything that may affect the property or impede us from trying to provide drainage for it. So, and you can see the detailed work that we're doing there as far as the elevations, calculations, and everything to determine is it a natural low? Where is it in the drainage pattern, the natural drainage pattern? So it's a little more detailed study that we're doing. And again, we started with what's on the list right now, over the colonial list, because our goal ultimately is to obviously address the needs of those colonias to get them off the list. And that's another thing that we'll talk about here in a minute. So the next slide just shows the detailed work that we have. As I mentioned, in the previous study that was done, it was just a general estimate. And you can see here in this one that we're currently doing, we have what we call an interim and an ultimate. So, and the interim talks about detail. Both estimates have detailed costs associated with it. We break it down. Our consultants are breaking it down. We're looking at ways to, and one of the directives that I gave my consultants is we need to apply it where the district or the county can perform some of these services, because we're not going to be able to bid everything out. So we want to be able to try to address it. In most cases, we can address it with in-house staff, whether it be precinct staff or district staff, to be able to construct these facilities to get these developments, drainage to this development. So that's kind of the approach that you see here, and it's pretty detailed, the estimates that we're doing, so to allow us to get this work done quicker. And this next slide just talks about the same. This is this is a subdivision in Precinct 4. Again, you can see the detail that we're looking at, flyovers. So this is real-time information. This is not stuff that we're extracting from Google Earth or anything. This is actual flyovers that we're doing. We're spending time to gather as much real-time information now to make it current, because what we want is we want to look at current conditions. So once this study is done, we can put a plan in place to try to put some of these projects out, like I said, through the precinct forces or the district forces, and some we may bid out as well. Don't get me wrong; there may be a need for that, but our main objective is to try to develop a plan that allows us to do most of the work in-house. And you can see in this one, it's got the watershed. It has everything that I've been talking about on there, as far as how the natural pattern of the water is, and what's the best means of getting that water out. So. And again, this is just an estimate for that one. This is obviously a little more elaborate, and you can see the difference on the interim construction. We could do some grading and some pipe work, estimate $178,000. The ultimate design and construction will be about $720,000. And these are just estimates. So in the interim, we may be able to address some of the interim, some of the immediate needs. but we also want to get to the ultimate where we fully address everything. So, that's kind of the approach that we're taking on this study that we're doing, so we can kind of get to work quickly. Just some points. As I mentioned, we're trying to address drainage throughout the county with this study. As I mentioned, we want to do it constructability. We want to construct it with in-house forces. Everything may be constructed with in-house forces. We may have to bid some out, but for the most part, I think we could get a lot of that accomplished through in-house forces. As I mentioned, we have the site assessment maps with the updated imagery, real time, so it gives us actual real conditions out there, how to, and best information to be able to address what we need to get addressed. And then, obviously, as I mentioned, we started with precincts 2 and 4. What I'd like to do is once we wrap this portion of the project, or this phase of the project, we'd like to move into precincts 1 and 3. I think there's a lot of real value to this information. And again, we started what was on the list. It's not an arbitrary pick that we said, well, this and this and this, Colonia or whatever. What we did is we said, what's on the list right now, currently, that we need to address. And one of the things that we want to do, obviously, we want to get drainage where drainage is needed, get to the colonias that need it. But also, we have found that some of these colonias technically don't exist because maybe open land, maybe a commercial development already. So what we want to do there is we want to propose legislation at the next session, because currently there's not any legislation in place that allows for colonias to be removed from the list. So we want to work with our state legislators to try to get that in place that allows us to remove it. And with this detailed information that we've gathered, we can definitely confirm and feel very confident that we can get some of these off the list. And there may be some that need to be added as well. There is a mechanism in place that allows us to add developments that are out there, older developments that may have not been covered already by the AG or the Water Development Board or the Secretary of State's office that we can add. And then there's also a level of colonia also. It just depends. Some may have water, some may have sewer, some may not have drainage. So there's different color-coded colonias also that we need to kind of step into as well and look at that. So I think this effort here, for these are addressing all those different levels of colonias that could be, and it puts us in a better position to provide improvements where needed, but also remove them from the list as well, so we can continue to focus on what we need here in our county. So this is kind of an overview of what we're doing at the district right now. As I mentioned, we started with 2 and 4, and we're going to be moving forward with 1 and 3. We should wrap it up. Our consultants are here. We should wrap it up probably next month, I believe, is our target date. Correct? March, yeah. So we should wrap it up in March and have a full. We'll have everything. The deliverables will be all binded. We'll have full set copies of everything. The precincts will also have that information provided to them. And then the next step will also be looking, rating the colonias as far as one of the things that we're going to do here is identify the ones that merit the most consideration because of population and because of dual impact or possible multiple impacts that they've had during events and so forth. And we'll provide that information to the precinct, and the district will also evaluate that to put priority projects out and see what we can work together to try to address some of these drainage issues out in the colonia. So I don't know if any questions from the board or anything. So.
No, just to comment, I mean, the study is great in that it shows you the level of effort and the cost of repairing the subdivision. The other study was just kind of an overview of where there was issues, but not, how much money or how much effort it costs to fix things. With this, we'll be able to, like you said, prioritize it because we don't have the money all in one chunk to pay for that.
Yes, sir. And the other one, it was a tri-county study, so they only did a small sampling of our area. This one is strictly for Hidalgo, and it's strictly based on the list that's currently at the AG's office. So Secretary of State / Water Development Board, they all we requested that information. They all put it together and said, this is basically what we have. But there's three agencies identified, and that was our first step to focus on that.
It'll also give us the ability to be transparent, put it on a website, and kind of show the priority of subdivisions or colonias that we want to tackle one at a time.
Exactly. That is correct, Commissioner. That is true.
Thank you.
We'll be moving forward, as I mentioned, with precinct 1 and 3, the next phases as well. So I'll bring back to the board shortly on that. Okay? Great. Thank you.
Sorry, Roman, just one last comment.
Yes, of course.
Can we get a copy of that
Yes, sir.
presentation? Just
Of course, we'll get that over to
the day
the.
or
Yes, sir.
something?
We'll get that to you as well. And we will provide. We can provide some hard copies, so sampling what we've done. Yeah, yeah, for sure. We'll sit down. Definitely, our goal is to start with precinct 1 next. Even though precinct 3 has on the list, you have a lot of Colonias, Commissioner, on the list. However, we really don't hear much of concerns over there because you're so high and water flows away. So we're going to focus on 1 and then move to 3. But eventually, all precincts will be covered in the study because we also want to address, as I mentioned, if properties are not or already developed or don't really need to be on the colonial list, let's not leave them on there. Let's get them on.
We got track for 1,000 acres to be developed, no? We met the other
Yes,
day,
sir.
and then we got one for 400 acres.
500 acres, yes, sir. So there's a lot of opportunity there. We're going to be moving on that, yes, sir, for sure. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay, if I may, item 6.
Go ahead.
Request approval, request acceptance and approval by the Alcohol Drainage Number 1 Board of Directors of an order authorizing the purchase of certain personnel property as described and attached herein from Dow County Precinct 1 for the agreed upon fair market value.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item 7, 7A, request approval to issue payment on the award of special commissioners pertaining to condemnation proceedings, cost number CCD 0431H, parcel number 1, precinct 2, fee simple right away.
Rule. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item B, approval to issue payment for 3 special commissioners fees related to cost number CDD 0431H, as noted on item A above.
Approvals. Second.
Those in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carries.
Item 8, authority to advertise and approval of plan specifications developed by Project Engineer Testing Infrastructure Group for Dow County Drainage System 1, HDD 1, J09 Drainage Improvements, Phase 2, roadway and field crossings, RFP number ACDD 1-18-015-0328, including the re-advertising of projects in the event no bid response are received and or rejected and the project is still required.
Rule. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 9, requesting acceptance and approval of work condition number 1, the amount of $59,648.57 as submitted by LNG Engineering in relation to professional engineering services to provide schematic development, right-of-way map, right-of-way acquisition services, and PS&E submittal through work contract number C, ACDD 1-18-04-0206, Dow County Drainage District number 1, Westco North Lateral Ditch, 350, 47-7B, 17B2A1A extension, and 17 drainage area improvements, subject to legal review and compliance to Form HB 1295.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carries.
I do not. Yes, sir.
My apologies, Mr. Singh. With respect to the agreed upon amount,
Yes.
which one was it? There was 3 numbers that I saw, 3 figures.
It's the one that costs less for me and more for you. Which one you want?
No, because we have it.
No, it's the one we agreed on a fair market value. I'll read it into the record. $94,643.52.
That way, so
Yeah, we had a book value and we had a
right.
our book or your book value and then what market value is, and we agreed in.
Thank you, sir.
We do not have any executive session items.
Need a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. This time we're going to be convening our regular meeting of our Hidalgo County Commissioners Court, posted for today, February the 27th, 2018. President Art, Commissioner Fuentes, Precinct 1, Commissioner Cantu, Precinct 2, Commissioner Flores, Precinct 3, and myself. We have a quorum. Please join us in our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almighty God, we come together today for the good of the citizens of Hidalgo County. Give us your wisdom as we make decisions that will affect them today and in the years to come. Help us to work well together, recognizing that each of us are here because we want what is best for Hidalgo County. We ask for your blessings and your guidance. In your name we pray. Amen.
Our consent agenda, any concern?
If you can pull item 6A and B.
Move for approval with the exception of 6A and 6B.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
For the record, Commissioner Fuentes will be abstaining on those items.
Motion to approve those two items.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Did you get Monica?
I know Commissioner Palacios wanted me to move up a resolution, but item number 17A.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners, Elizabeth Gonzalez, Commissioner Palacios' office. This morning we have an agenda item to recognize the Hidalgo County MPO, LRGVDC, and Texas A&M University Health Science Center for their acceptance to attend the 4th Annual Walkability Action Institute. So with us we have our representatives. Mr. Cannon, would you like to come up? They have it? Okay, so with your permission, I'd like to read the resolution.
Go ahead.
Okay. So whereas through great efforts have been granted the privilege of being one of 9 organizations that has been recognized to be part of such a wonderful event, in this program they will prepare in order to pursue policy systems and environmental support for walking and walkability. And whereas with the leadership of the National Association of Chronic Disease Directors, they will obtain knowledge in order to strengthen state-based leadership and expertise for chronic disease prevention to increase physical activity and focus on active living. And whereas they will receive the most up-to-date academic and applied learning methods and will reinforce and support implementation of significant national and public health policy statements to promote a healthier lifestyle for our community. And whereas the Action Institute will provide applied learning and skill-building instructions to support achievement of related PSE strategies for increasing mobility, including design and infrastructure improvements, and whereas the skills and knowledge obtained could help improve the quality of life for the residents of Hidalgo County and influence a better way of living for many. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby supports the resolution in recognition of the Hidalgo County MPO, LRGVDC, and Texas A&M University Health Science Center for their devotion and commitment to advance Hidalgo County.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. So we have Ms. Sevelia who will say a few words.
Good morning, Commissioners, Judge. My name is Evelia Castillo. I'm a program manager at Texas A&M, and I'm also a current member of the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee. So we're very excited for our team to have been selected to attend this Walkability Action Institute in Georgia. We were one of 9 teams nationwide to be selected from a total of 23 applicants. So we're very excited to be attending, and we're tasked with putting together a team action plan that includes policy, systems, and environmental goals to increase walkability and strengthen and expand walkability in our community, and ultimately to have a healthier community as well. So we thank you for your support, and thank Commissioner Palacios for joining our team as well. Thank you.
Awesome.
Well, good luck
Thank
to
you. Andrew, where's your hat, bro?
That's right here, sir.
Put it on and come up here.
Sir, I think the young lady on my staff has it.
You can't stay out of it, though.
I can't answer that. It's going to tell them to take off.
Let the judge finish because he's
I want to really get the aspect of the IT. I'm there for the actual how does this work?
When it comes to great news, everybody smile and move forward.
1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
All right, our Sheriff's Office.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Captain Herrera with the Sheriff's Office. 2015 Operation Snow Garden 1284, authorization and approval to submit a budget amendment, FRAGO, and a price act waiver in reference to Operation Snow Garden 2015.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
B, presentation and discussion of 2017 racial profiling report as presented to the Otto County Sheriff's Office in accordance with and adherence to Article 2.133 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. And you all have a copy of that in front of you.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
C, Sheriff's Office Operation Stone Garden 1284, authorization and approval to request an extension in reference to Operation Stone Garden fiscal year 2015, new termination date of April 30th, 2018.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carries.
D, 1, approval and certification of revenues as certified by county auditors.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
D2, approval and appropriation of funds in the county commissary account for the amount of $2,827.38.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
That is all I have, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 6, our Constable Precinct 2.
Good morning. I'm Deputy Rocio with the Constable's Office, Precinct 2. We have 3 items, one being requesting approval of amendment to the interlocal agreement between Tropical Texas Behavioral Health and the County of Hidalgo by and through the Office of Constable 2, Precinct 2.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item number 2, authorization for county judge as authorized official to sign amendment to the interlocal agreement award and related documents.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Okay, item 3, approval to continue payment of salary, overtime, and fringe benefits for 1 deputy constable under the Tropical Texas Behavioral Health VBLF interlocal agreement.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Constable Precinct 3.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners, Sergeant Dan Burrows on behalf of Constable Gallardo.
Good morning, sir.
Item 63756, authorization and approval to apply for the local border security program fiscal year 19 grant for the Office of the Governor's Homeland Security Grants Division through e-grants.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And number 2, authorization for county judge to e-sign application under e-grants as authorized official.
Move for approval.
Approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And number 3, approval of resolution for LBSP 19 grant to designate Judge Ramon Garcia as grantee's authorized official and to sign required document, grant period September 1, 2018 through August 31st, 2019.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
That's all I have. If you'll excuse
Thank
me.
you, sir.
Thank you.
Item 8, Precinct 4, Constable.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Morning.
Morning. Morning, Mr.
8A, Judge, Constable Precinct 4, Texas Tropical Behavioral Center requesting approval of amendment to the interlocal agreement between Tropical Texas Behavioral Health and County of Hidalgo by and through the Office of Constable Precinct 4.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Authorization for County Judge as authorized official to sign amendment to the interlocal agreement award and related documents.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
A3, approval to continue payment of salary, overtime, and fringe benefits for one deputy constable under Tropical Texas Behavioral Health interlocal agreement.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
That's
Thank
all
you,
I've got,
sir.
Judge. Thank you. Commissioner.
Item 9, our executive office.
Thank you, Judge. Commissioners, under 9A, presentation for discussion, consideration, action if necessary, including but not limited to the following: update on ongoing county home building construction, relocation, and renovation repair projects. Judge, Commissioners, unfortunately, we did have a situation yesterday. We did have water leak intrusion at the courthouse by the 92nd District Court. It was, we believed it to be a pipe, but upon further inspection, it was water coming in from the roof area that made its way down into that area. In talking to Daniel, we do have staff that is certified for a certain type of roofing repair. We are exploring that option, but at this point, I asked Daniel to get me the pertinent information to see what the repair cost would be. But if I were guessing, just the area in general, we're probably looking at about $35,000 to $50,000 in material costs. The labor costs would be absorbed since our staff is certified in placing TPO type roof system, single ply, and so we are exploring that option. We did address it temporarily with respect to a Band-Aid fix, but that was as a result of the light rain that we had over the last couple of days, accumulation thereof. Under item 2, emergency situation, last agenda meeting, I have nothing to report. Item B, approval of 2018 library interlocal agreements between Hidalgo County and the following cities: Alamo, Donna, Edinburgh, Elsa, Hidalgo, La Jolla, McAllen, Mercedes, Mission, Benitez, Far, San Juan, and Westlaco. I can have a motion.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
Item 10, our auditor.
Good morning. I have item 10A1, approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor for various TxDOT projects.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 2, approval of 2017 appropriation of funds for various TxDOT projects in the total amount of $4,529,043.86.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Our item 11, our health department.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Eddie Olivares, Hidalgo County Health and Human Services. Item 11A, requesting approval for Health and Human Services Department employees to travel out of state to attend the 2018 Public Health Preparedness Summit, April 16th through the 20th, 2008 in Atlanta, Georgia. The summit will also include a Project Public Health Ready ceremony to recognize Hidalgo County Health and Human Services for having been awarded the Project Public Health Ready recognition, which we brought to court last week. Got your permission for them to travel, sir.
So moved. Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item B is Health Department requesting approval to submit grant renewal application for the County Healthy Communities Program in the amount of $50,000. The FY19 program will be in effect October 1st, 2018 through September 30th, 2019.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
I'd like to take an opportunity under this item, the Texas Healthy Communities, that's the grant that helped pay the PSA that the commissioners and some of the Hidalgo County staff helped put together. I need to acknowledge Jackie Trevino in the Public Information Office and of course each and every one of you that participated in it, Rick Salinas who helped put it together. That's actually come out really well in Spanish and English. It's on the county website. You need to look at that. So thank you very much for that.
Thanks, Ed.
Item C, Healthcare Funding District. There isn't anything. Unless you have any questions. And item D, Indigent Healthcare Program. There isn't any items unless there's any questions or comments. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Item 12, our IT department.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Item 12A, approval of the following requests for wireless devices as listed on the grid below.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Item 13, our elections office.
Judge, Commissioners, there's no updates for today.
Item 14, Precinct 1.
Approval and acceptance for Commissioner Precinct 1 David Fuentes to request an extension of time to obtain notice of intent for Citizens Collection Station in Hidalgo County Sunset Park with Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, TCEQ.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 2, approval to submit application to TCEQ, Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, MSW Permits Division for notice of intent to operate a Citizens Collection Station, Hidalgo County, Precinct 1, Sunset Park.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
That's all I have.
Item 15, Precinct 2.
Requesting approval of interlocal cooperation agreement between the County of Hidalgo and the City of Hidalgo regarding new road construction and drainage improvements for the Precinct 2 Las Milpas Road project.
So moved.
Second.
Information that'll be
Yes.
subject to legal review.
Subject to legal.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
In accordance with Section 791.014 of the Texas Government Code, requesting approval of the interlocal cooperation agreement project for the Precinct 2 Las Milpas Road project.
Do you want that subject to in there, or is it okay?
It wouldn't hurt.
With subject to legal review, so moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Sorry, Commissioner. Stepped out for a moment.
We're on 15B.
On 15B, at this time, we're going to take no action at this time.
Okay.
Precinct 3. Yeah, go ahead.
Requesting approval of an interlocal cooperation agreement between City of Sullivan and County of Hidalgo to jointly overlay a portion of El Pinto Road from U.S. Expressway 83 to Tablero Road.
So moved.
I don't know if that's subject to legal.
No, it's not.
Just
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Item 2 is in accordance with the Texas Government Code 791.014, requesting approval of the interlocal agreement for a proposed project whereby the City of Sullivan and County desire jointly to agree to cooperate in overlaying approximately 6,600 linear feet of El Pinto Road from US 83 to Tablero Road, which is connecting link to county roads system.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Oh, that's perfect. I'm up next
Item
anyway.
18, purchasing.
I knew that. 18A, we're starting with Precinct 1, pursuant to Texas Local Government Code 263-151, discussion and approval to declare as surplus 3 tractors and as further detailed in the Exhibit A, including the establish the sell price as stated on the order.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
B, acceptance and approval by Hidalgo County Commissioners Court, evidence by an order authorizing the sale of certain personal property as described in the attached herein to Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1 for the amount approved as stated on the order.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
C, requesting authority to remove said assets listed in Exhibit A from the Hidalgo County inventory list after finalizing the sale of the equipment to Drainage District Number 1.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
B1, Precinct 2, acceptance and approval to execute the final form of professional engineering services agreement, subject to legal's review if necessary, for B to Z and Engineering LLC, Las Milpas Road Project for Precinct 2, as applicable to all forms and required documentation.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Acceptance and approval of work authorization number 1 in an estimated cost of $403,420.47 as submitted by project engineer B2Z for PS&L design survey ROW map and other design related services for the Las Milpas Road project.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And pursuant to the current contract with B2Z, Article 14, a request by engineer to permit the subcontracting of ROW Surveying Services, LLC, for Las Milpas Road.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
For item C, Precinct 3, acceptance and approval of work authorization 1 with an estimated cost of $13,500 as submitted by project engineer Javier Hinojosa Engineering to provide services for Citrus Grove Street, CJRS subdivision units A and B.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
D1, Health and Human Services Department, requesting authority to advertise and approval of the procurement packet. This is for and re-advertising it if necessary. And this is for, let me see, pardon me, the contractual physician for tuberculosis services.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
E1 is Colonia Access Program Precinct 1A, requesting approval of final negotiated professional services agreement with Javier Hinojosa Engineering as it relates to those services for the Border Colonia Access Program Road Round 3 projects. That's I need action on that.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Pursuant to the approval of the professional services agreement with Javier Hinojosa, we're asking for work authorization 1 to be approved in the amount of $79,121.58 as it relates to services for that Round 3 projects.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
C is requesting approval of the final negotiated professional services agreement with EarthCo LLC for professional engineering services, geotechnical and construction materials testing for Precinct 1's Round 3 projects.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And pursuant to that approval, we're asking for approval of work authorization 1 with EarthCo LLC in the amount of $25,175.05 for those services for that Round 3.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, that's all I have.
Thank you, ma'am. Under open forum, did anyone sign up?
Judge, my apologies. We have Hilda from the elections. She did have one little update for the court. So if we could go back to, my apologies first. They're with the open forum, with the elections item.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Hilda Salinas. I'm here on the behalf, of course, of Ms. Yvonne Ramon. Currently, she's tending to running the election, so I'm here to go ahead and present for her. Thank you for letting us come and give you a little update. We were, of course, handling the election right now, so I'm here now. Currently, the election is running smoothly. So far, yesterday's close at the polls, we have had 19,281 Democrats in-person votes. And 2,004 Republican in-person votes so far during early voting. So in total, that's 21,285.
That's up to Saturday or Monday?
Until today. Until yesterday, Monday, so far, altogether. Yeah, we've had people come in. In total, 21,285 Hidalgo County voters that have cast their ballot.
That's almost over.
What's your typical turnout on a non-presidential election?
Well, compared to 2016, in total, including Dems and Reps, we had 27,733, but of course that was the presidential. In 2014, which is, you more or less compared to 2014 because it is a gubernatorial, so we had in total 21,657, so we're almost there compared to 2014's total so far as of today compared to 2014.
You're doing comparison the same day.
Yes, not all the way through election because we don't know yet.
More registered voters now.
Yeah.
Right.
Currently, we have 349,700 registered voters.
Back in 2014.
In 2014, I don't have that number yet. I'm thinking it's around. It was 30,000 difference, so 30,000 registered voters less.
Do you know in 2014 how many total votes came in?
The total in 2014, I don't have that right now, because what I was doing is I'm presenting to you the numbers as of so far as of right now, because we don't know in total how many will come in the next coming days.
Right.
So just also a reminder that we have Election Day coming up on March 6th. Of course, early voting runs through Friday, March 2nd. The polls open at 7 and they close at 7 p.m. as well. And on Election Day, we have countywide polling locations now. So that does mean that you can go to any polling location to cast your ballot, just like early voting. And that's all I have for right now.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Judge and Commissioners, for taking the time to listen.
Judge, we do have two participants under open forum. I will remind the audience to please respect the speaker's time at the podium, which is a 3-minute time limit. I will advise when there is 1 minute. Our first presenter is Ms. Fern McClary.
And the DA's was a little more heated.
Again, the only thing I'm asking for the county to do is look at our buildings. Valdi, I talked to earlier, said y'all have, and I can't believe that there's not buildings somewhere in the county that we're able to either fix up or rebuild, or I know that Joe some years ago had some buildings that were donated, but we never could put them up anywhere, because paying $3,875 a month for a building that we're just leasing when we might have a building that we might be able to work out for the different departments that we have. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Our next presenter is Mr. Joe Rodriguez.
Morning, Judge. Morning, Commissioners. I was hoping Commissioner Palacios was here, but unfortunately not. Anyway, this stems back to January 16th when I was here. I spoke to the DA about an employee burning official documents and if there was a law that approved this. Number two, I gave him my name and my number. He said he'd get back to me, and he hasn't. Still waiting. January 16th, I met with Commissioner Palacios' Caso, Chief of Administration Caso, and Coordinator number 3, Molina. Molina said he'd go by our subdivision, see the potholes, and see what else needed to be done. No show. Told Commissioner Palacios I was waiting for a response from Mr. Rodriguez, Roman Rodriguez. It's been more than going on 8 months now. Employees using smartphones to check in people to use the collection facility at Precinct 4, personal phones. Concern there is private personal information of the people being how can I say this, compromised, identity theft and whatsoever. I'm not saying it's being done, but it might be done, could be done, when they have their own guns and computer guns to check you in. Okay. And this one is strictly to Commissioner Palacios. He has stated to me and several other people that it's not about the power, but the service. But yet, I was run off from county property by a supervisor when I wanted to speak to somebody else, and was not afforded that opportunity, either him or Commissioner Palacios. But yet, there was the chief administration that I could have spoken to at that time. So that's my concern. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Do you have anything about it?
Yes, we do have one item in the executive session. I was waiting for Mr. Henriksen. He was 5 minutes away a couple minutes ago. Judge, if you would indulge me, just commissioners, we could break to executive session and let me find Mr. Henriksen.
Well, you can go ahead and take action there, and then we'll be waiting back.
Yes, that's what I said. If you break to executive session, let me call first.
All right, pursuant to 551-071 and 072, I need a motion to proceed to executive session.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. We will be in executive session for a short while. All right, we're back in open session.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. Under open session, 22A, real estate acquisition appropriation for sale, there's no action to be taken today. 22B, pending under potential litigation, no action to be taken. 22C, C3824-16-J, Raquel Giron, First Brigade, Texas. Judge Commissioner, we'll just proceed as directed. There's no need to go back into closed or open. We have adjourned.
So moved.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
We do have court next week, Judge Commissioners.
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
Commissioner, see you later. Judge, we don't.